Hello and welcome. You're watching Closing Trades here on ET Now. I'm Harsh Saita. With me is Aisha Faridi. And let's quickly take you through how the indices, especially the benchmarks, have done today. Absolutely flat day of trade. We've seen some bit of weakness, but probably post noon, we've seen a flattening out in terms of absolutely any fluctuation in the market. So it's an absolutely flat day for the Nifty. The Nifty Bank is perked up 1/3%, as you can see on your screen. What you can also see is, let's pull up the broader markets. That's where some bit of pain seems to lie. A 1/4% odd lower for the Nifty Mid-Cap 150 index. A 1/3% down for the Nifty Mid-Cap 100, which was on your screen at this point. The small cap index also seeing weakness. So those two have seen a bit of a slip while the Nifty has held up to a certain extent. Let's pull up the advanced decline ratio, and the breadth is largely even Steven, with some bit of weakness coming through as the day has progressed. So you're seeing that breadth worsen as the day has gone by. So that's something also that you want to look out for. In terms of sectors, 1/3% higher on the Nifty Auto, so some bit of outperformance seen there. But outside of that, IT is having an absolute flat day. The metal index is the one which is really shining today in trade. 1% plus higher on the Nifty metal index. I'd also want to pull up the constituents of the Nifty metal, and Nalco is the one which is leading the pack at this point. Really solid day, good move, 4% higher on a Nalco. I'll be curious to know what's happening within the metal space and whether this kind of uptick can continue within metals, and we'll talk about that with both of our technical analysts joining in just a bit. I'm also going to talk about some of the sectors not doing as well. Outside of media, which is down 1.5%, there's some pressure on the realty index at the broader end. Consumer durables is down 1% as well, and you're seeing maybe some bit of pressure coming in even on the Nifty FMCG, which is down over 0.5%. So that's broadly the way in which it's playing out. One other sector which is really standing out is the Nifty PSU Bank, 1.5% higher. If you look at it intraday, it's off the day's highs for sure, but nonetheless, it's holding up fairly well for itself. This is the other one, second consecutive day where it's the top gainer in trade today. But let me bring on board Sneha Seth, who's our derivative analyst for this afternoon, coming in from Angel One. Sneha, great having you. Let me first start off by understanding the setup with regard to Nifty, Nifty Bank, and your views. What is it that you're seeing? It's a truncated week. It's an expiry day today as well as tomorrow. Tomorrow is an extremely happening day. There's also policy tomorrow. How would you play the trade?
As of now, first of all, very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
If you see, market has been in a range broadly. Like if you see Nifty has been stuck in a range of 24,500, 24,700, 800 on the higher side. So this 300 points is the range for Nifty. For banking index, if you see, the range is around 54,200, 55,000 on the higher side. So both the key indices have been stuck in a range. As of now, at the higher levels, we are again and again seeing some selling pressure coming in. The call writers have been shifting their strikes on the lower side. So for now, I believe unless and until we don't see a decisive move beyond the range, what I mentioned, one should avoid trading into index. Still, the biasness remains a little negative because every time whenever we are seeing some buying interest coming in, that is not getting sustained, at the higher levels. We are seeing some tentativeness at the higher levels. So at this point in time, stay away from the index, focus on individual counters. Few sectors are doing good. You can focus there and play with the individual counters kind of a thing for now.
Okay, point taken, Sneha. Skip trading the Nifty, go stock specific. Kunal, hi, afternoon. Is that your strategy as well?
Yeah, I think stock specific is the way to go in this kind of a market. It's a completely divergent market. You started off with the day on a slightly positive note for the indices. The advanced decline ratio was almost 2:1, for the overall market. But then I think that has narrowed down significantly, and the range for the indices has also been, a little bit more narrowed in compared to the previous many trading sessions. The only reason which we can attribute is because of the expiry action which has been going on. So there is evidence, it's evident that the markets are going for a decent amount of rollovers, at least on the stock-specific front, and that's why you're seeing a lot of churn happening across the sectors as well as within the sectors. Now, in this kind of a scenario, I think it makes a lot of sense to look at the levels for the index, because that will determine the way the markets will probably behave, or the index will start to trend, whether it's on the upside and the downside. We are still looking at 24,500 as a critical support for the Nifty. So till the time we trade above these levels, we can just hope and expect that the markets could be a little bit more stable and less volatile. On the upside, I would look at 24,750 to 24,800 as a breakout point for the Nifty. So till the time we trade into this 250 point band, we can expect the index to just about consolidate and trade in a very sideways kind of a manner.
Okay. Well, today it really seems to be that metal kind of day. Look at Nalco up almost 4.5%. Hindustan Zinc, Vedanta, JSW Steel, all of these names are looking smart. Sneha, any opportunities you're scouting from within metals for a trade?
So within metals, in the morning we did suggest Nalco. The counter looks quite good at this point in time as well. If someone gets a dip around 208, 209, that is the zone one should be adding fresh long positions. One can expect the target at least around 220, 224 is the target which I'm looking forward for. So one can go ahead and buy that counter as well. Apart from this, I have a buy call on Hindalco. So that is a pick which I'm liking. If you see the overall chart structure for this counter, the counter was continuously stable. In fact, it has been respecting the 20 on the daily chart continuously. So I believe the momentum over here can continue, and I expect the up move at least towards 790 is the level which I'm watching forward for, and the stop loss can be maintained around 748 in that case.
Okay. Kunal, any specific strategies from you?